Now, I don't know what your personal views are on Elon Musk, the man. I'm not a fan. I made a decision after various of his political pronouncements, I thought it was a Nazi salute, to stop using X as much as possible. I use it a bit because I have to. I try not to pay for it. I make that choice. But I think everyone should have that choice. I am not in the crowd of people who think that we should be banning Teslas from the streets. And from what I've seen of Starlink, it seems like an amazing service to get your internet. I watched a rocket launch that Elon Musk was responsible for earlier this year, just by coincidence, just in the sky above me when I was in Florida. And the technology he's responsible for as an entrepreneur, I think, is, objectively incredible. So what do you make of the fact that the leader of the Lib Dem, Sir Ed Davey, has written a letter this week to the Energy Secretary Ed Miliband asking him to block Elon Musk's company Tesla from supplying power to UK homes on national security grounds? He says in the letter that allowing the billionaire from having a foothold in the UK's energy market would be a, quote, gravely concerning move, considering Musk's repeated interference in UK politics. Max Wilkinson from the Lib Dems is with me now. Hi there, Max.
Afternoon, Ollie. Nice to be with you.
Yeah, thanks for joining me. Was this something that you sort of discussed amongst you before the letter was published, or is this 100% Davey?
Well, look, the Lib Dems have been pretty clear on our thoughts about things to do with Elon Musk and certain other elements of the US administration as well. We just don't think they're trustworthy. And Elon Musk is part of this movement in America that's made it very well known that they're no friends of the UK. You've seen him try to foment discontent on our streets last summer. He's also prone to spreading a huge amount of disinformation on the social media platform that he owns. And some of the things you just mentioned, Starlink, some of the things he's done with Starlink as well have left quite a lot of questions. So we're saying to Ofgem, we do have a regulated market for energy in this country, we're saying to Ofgem that they should strongly consider what they're going to do here. And we're calling for the Energy Secretary to step in and ensure that consumers are not put at risk from Elon Musk making a foray into our energy markets.
Which was a position, as I say, that I was kind of sympathetic for until I actually read Ed Davey's letter, in which, in his second paragraph, he fronts up to the fact, which people may not have realised, that Tesla already have a licence for energy generation in this country. So actually, this is the bit that's about selling directly to households and businesses, i.e. the one bit where you and I could see some real benefit. This could cut my bills if I have the choice to go with Tesla, as I have the choice to go with lots of other energy companies. What's the point of denying households and businesses that choice when they're part of the energy mix anyway?
Really understand that. I mean, I've shopped around, I've just moved house, and I've stuck with the same energy company that I was in my old place because I was perfectly happy with them. This is not about whether Tesla is currently doing this or that or the other. This is about Tesla making a new application to sell to UK consumers. I think there's something more than 20 choices that we have already, Ollie, and that's quite a lot. As a Liberal, of course, I'm in favour of competition in markets. That's a good thing. But that doesn't mean that we should allow anyone to come into our market, particularly people who have made comments that have tried to undermine the security of this nation.
But he's in the market, is my point. He's already in the market. Kick him out the market then. Shouldn't that be what the letter says? I mean, what's the point of having him in half the market?
Well, I mean, I'm not an expert on the energy markets, but there's different sections of the energy market, aren't there? And he's in part of it already. We're saying that he shouldn't be allowed into another part of it. And of course, if there are legacy licenses that he's got to operate in this country, that's very different from giving him the permission to go into a new part of it. And of course, when the Liberal Democrats are asked about what we're going to do with energy, the key thing that we can do to bring down bills is to decouple wholesale gas prices from the energy prices that we all pay for electricity. Now, that's something that can make a huge difference. Ed's made a big speech on that recently at the IPPR. That's the kind of policy that we should be looking at to get our energy markets right, not putting it in the hands of someone like Elon Musk, who has proven time and again that he isn't the kind of person that we want to be dealing with in this country.
And that's because of things like, you sort of obliquely mentioned Starlink earlier, but that was to do with cutting access to the Ukrainian military, wasn't it, in that example, and to do with his dealings with Russia. It's that sort of thing. It's not his views. It's not to do with his political views.
He's allowed to think whatever he likes. I'm not in the business, and the Liberal Democrats aren't in the business of telling people what they should think. But when we have a regulated energy market, as we do in this country, we've got to ask questions about whether we would have someone like Elon Musk, who has proven himself unreliable, but also eccentric at the very most polite way that I could describe it, in the opinions that he's expressed about things that go on in this country. He's made statements as the richest man in the world, let's not forget, using his own social media platform that he bought, that have been a clear attempt to undermine the cohesive society that we have in this country at a time when things were very difficult last summer. Now, his opinions are neither here nor there. The question is, does this government and does Ofgem think that it's right to let him enter into the market and sell energy to our households when we have so many other companies that are already doing it? We're all in favour of competition, all in favour of choice for consumers, all in favour of bringing people's bills down, and we've got a plan to halve people's bills. But letting Elon Musk in is really not the right way to get things right for our energy markets in this country.
Just be really clear for us on what your fears would be if Tesla are allowed to sell energy directly to consumers, because a lot of people listening to this agree that his views are objectionable, agree that he's interfered with UK politics in a way that's undesirable, but would still like the choice. They may choose not to use Tesla, but would like the choice to use Tesla. So what's the vision of what could happen if he's allowed to sell energy to us?
Where Elon Musk has had power by virtue of his ownership of businesses, he's used that power to get even more power for himself by leveraging that power over those who might be in charge of countries, in charge of in important positions in civil society. And we really fear that if he ends up being in charge of an energy company that can sell to consumers in this country, then things could go very badly wrong. You mentioned Starlink earlier on. There are other examples, I'm sure, that we could all think of how it could possibly go wrong. And let's face it, this is something that we should just be ruling out on the precautionary principle from the starting point. We know what kind of guy he is. We know the kind of things that he's done in the past. We know that in the US, when he's made interventions into the elections over there by giving people huge amounts of money to register to vote, we know he's trying to sway politics over there. It's perfectly fine. He can get involved in politics. He can think what he likes. He can use his opinions. But it's about the actions that he might take as a business person that leave us asking questions. And that's why we've called for Ofgem not to issue that licence and for the Energy Secretary to consider blocking it.
All right, Max Wilkinson, Liberal Democrat spokesperson at the Department of Culture, Media and Sport. Thanks for joining us. Your texts are coming in on this. I must say, not exactly supportive of the Lib Dem position in general. This is exactly the kind of policy, says Anthony, that makes the Lib Dems totally irrelevant and disconnected from voters. People are less bothered about the political views of Musk and more interested in lowering their bills in what is a cost of living crisis. They are offering no solutions to that problem. To be fair, I'm sure they have some policies on that problem, but indeed not this one. James Anthony Simpson has texted as well. Presumably, Ed Davey will also ask the Energy Secretary to sanction consumers using Russian gas to heat their homes. However many childish remarks Elon Musk has made for a primarily US audience, he's not an indicted war criminal profiting from energy sales, unlike the Russian dictator Putin.